for everyone that has joined us, we are delighted to be joined by Sarah as it's actually National Single Parent Day today. And so we invited Sarah to come along. You may recognise her from TV, as Sarah usually spends her time presenting Sky Sports, but she's now on maternity leave, as she just mentioned, looking after baby Milo. So, a single parent by choice, we wanted to chat with Sarah about her journey to becoming a single parent and just learn what life is like now that baby is here, which we just heard a very tiny snippet of. So, Sarah, can I start by just speaking about, life as it is and whether everything is as you imagined as a single parent, like now that he's here?
Yeah, it's obviously amazing. He's, the birth and the pregnancy it went really well. So it's been amazing. And I think the journey to sort of having him was quite a long one, obviously with various IVF cycles. But now he's here, it's just amazing. And as I said, the birth, the hospital, the treatment I had, he was born at Middlesbrough. He was breech, so it was a C-section. But everything went so well, and the last few weeks has been brilliant. He's as I said, the reflux has just started to become a bit of an issue. But apart from that, it's been amazing. Yeah, it's tough. The sleep deprivation is hard, as every new mum will testify. But he's a dream, and he's something that I've wanted for so long. And now that he's finally here, it's amazing. So. He's a little joy.
Oh, so I guess you've just mentioned sleep deprivation, but in terms of like doing this journey alone, like at the moment, what would you say are the biggest challenges, but then also the biggest rewards?
Yeah, I think I always say this to life's not always straightforward. It's amazing, but there are tough times, and fortunately split with my partner, and knew that I wanted to be a mum, and it got to the point where I just had to make the decision to do it. I'm sort of seeing someone at the moment, but it's very early stages, and I am very much doing this on my own. But I just think I'm a very positive person. I think life works out. I've got amazing family, amazing friends, amazing support, and I don't feel on my own. And I know I've got a lot of good people around me. So, and all that matters is I can, give him all the love and attention that he needs and deserves. And I just feel I'm very much in life. I feel very lucky to have lived and had the life that I've got. And I don't see it, he's conceived with donor sperm. For me, it's just my little normal life. I don't look at it any differently. Yeah, there are challenges, but there are challenges for everybody in life, whether you're doing it solo or with a partner, or you've got family close by. A lot of couples or single mums don't have family close by, and I feel I've got so much love and support, and so has he. So it's tough, but like I said, every parent has their challenges. So that's how I see things.
Well, yeah, absolutely true. As you just said then, you don't know how life's going to work out. And I think everyone can relate to the fact that it's not always maybe easy finding the one. And actually it could take years, and it might be that some people are happy in their own company and they're not looking for the one anyway. So why should that stop them from missing maybe that window of opportunity to have a child if that's what they really want? And I think that's why it's so interesting to hear from someone like yourself that's just taken charge and gone, you know what, I want a baby and I'm going to do it regardless of having a partner to share that with. So in terms of the process itself, you chose to go down the IVF route, but I know there are options such as adoption and artificial insemination. But are you maybe able to share with us the process of IVF from your experience?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think now he's here, and as I said, the pregnancy and the birth was fantastic. But getting to that point, I found IVF really tough, and I think it really does mess with your body, mess with your hormones. And I just found it, I found it really difficult. And what I did was it didn't work with my partner. And then I went through 3 cycles to almost try and to kind of freeze the embryos in time. Obviously went down the sperm donor route with Cryos in Denmark. But I wanted to get to a point where, so I froze the embryos a few years ago. So I was 38 and 39 at 3 cycles. They were all tested. So I went through pre-genetic screening, which was one of the best things I ever did, because they collected a lot of eggs. but the viability was quite low. Obviously, when you get to the blastocyst stage, I think I had quite a number, but when they tested them through the 3 cycles, there were only 3 viable embryos, which percentage-wise, obviously from the number I had, I can't remember the exact number that I had, but it reduced dramatically. But they said, the doctor said, because they've been tested, that these 3 embryos had a really good chance of resulting in pregnancy. So that was really positive. So I knew that, but also it was scary because I waited a couple of years. Because being honest, I didn't feel in the right mental space to have a baby. I knew that I'd get to that point, but I wasn't ready at that. After a few of the personal things that had gone on, I just wasn't ready. And I was on, I know it sounds a bit cliche, but on a bit of a personal journey, I think, getting to a place where I was really happy and settled. And then when I was ready, I then, so last April, put the embryo back, and it worked first time for me. So I've still got 2 others in the freezer, depending on what I want to do with them. But so that was amazing. That for it to have kind of, the implantation for it to have worked first time was brilliant. But I know leading up to that, it's hard. It just takes its toll. And I know friends who've been successful with IVF, friends who haven't been successful, and it's really, really difficult. And I feel very lucky that I'm sat here now with him, because it's just such a numbers game. It really is. And I think one of my big things there were 2 things with IVF, really. I think I found in a lot of clinics, I tried a few clinics, that you are a number through the door. You know, it's very expensive. And I just found it a bit soul destroying. And I found, being honest, just a bit of lacking in personal attention and care. I think, you know, they're seeing hundreds, thousands of patients every year, but when you walk through that door, you want to feel like you're the only one that matters. And I did feel like some of the sort of the aftercare and just that personal attention was lacking. And I think that's something that probably really needs to be looked at, because you're going through a huge amount, you know, physically and emotionally, mentally. And I think the care just needs to be a bit better in this country. That's what I'd say generally. The pre-genetic screening, as I said, I'd completely recommend that. And I just think you've just got to look after yourself and be kind. I was really thankful that with my employer, with Sky, they were so empathetic. They were so comforting towards me. They knew what I was doing. And I think you have to talk to your friends and family and your colleagues, your employer. You have to let them know, because you're on the drugs. I mean, I remember, you know, being on air and going off for a toilet break at midway through live TV programs and injecting, you know, the IVF drugs, and it's not easy. And I was, you know, traveling quite a bit, less so obviously the last couple of years, but it's just, if you let people around you know what you're going through, I think that really helps. So they're kind of the main things that I'd say. And I think the other point I'd make as well is, I just think it's so tough on women to, you know, I won't deny it, I was very, and I still am very sort of career focused and ambitious, and when's the right time to do it? And I think there's a lot of pressure on women. You know, you might go to, you know, school, university, you get a job, you're trying to have a social life, seeing your friends, just living life, trying to find the partner. And then your fertility apparently drops off a cliff at 35. You've got a lot to do in quite a short space of time. And I just think we need to be kinder to ourselves as well, because it's not easy.
Definitely. I think it's so important what you say about sharing that experience and what you're going through with other people, because I guess as well, it is such a big thing, but a lot of the time you want to keep that kind of thing very private. And
Yeah,
you know, it's really important to hear that by talking to people about it, that actually really helped.
it did. It really did. And I think that's probably something that I've struggled with my whole life, but I definitely feel, you know, there's such a greater awareness around fertility now, and I think a lot of women's issues. And I think the worst thing you can do is just hide, because, you know, it's that saying, isn't there? You know, be kind, because you never know what someone's always be kind. You never know what someone's going through, and it's so true. And I think, you know, it is a private thing, and I was aware of that. But I thought, if I let people know, then my friends and family and work colleagues, they can be a bit more sympathetic towards things, because it's, you know, unless you've been through it, you don't really understand. You know, fertility, IVF is really grueling, and I think, you know, people need to kind of understand that and empathize.
Absolutely, and I know I've got so few friends well, going through it, and without knowing like some of their stories, and I just think it's another world you don't actually know, like unless you have been through it, as you
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
And I think the IVF journey is one thing, but then maybe like the sperm donor process as well isn't that widely spoken about.
No.
And for you, did you find it quite hard to find the right resources at first?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I feel like a bit of an expert now, obviously having gone through it. But yeah, it's like, where do you start? I think totally. If you're single woman, or same sex couple, where do you begin? And a lot of it's just research, information, reading, talking to people, and just trying to learn. And it's a minefield. It's really not easy. But just trying to get all the information you can, and then speaking to experts in the field, and just trying to make it, informed choices. And that's all you can do really. And then just while you're going through the process, I think you have to really look after yourself as well, and physically and mentally eat the right things. Just keeps, exercise is really important to me. I think diet and exercise is really important. And some people swear by sort of hypnotherapy as well. But just doing all the right things, because you've just got to put your body in your mind in the best possible frame of mind, and your body in the best possible place to really try and make it successful.
And I know that with the sperm donor process side of things, we're actually hoping to come back, aren't we, and do another
Yeah,
whole chat around that. If anybody has any specific questions, so we can come back to that in like a month's time. Amazing. But as you say, in terms of like the mindfulness and just making sure that you're looking after yourself while you're going through all of this is so important.
definitely. And I've always been a big advocate of that anyway. But I think as I said, that hormonally it does test you, it does tax you. And I don't think we really know how much and how long that lasts, if you know what I mean. I still feel a little bit now that and it's different. Well, I've obviously got pregnancy hormones going on as well, which is crazy. But the amount of drugs you're pumping into your body over, I had 3 cycles, so it's quite a lot, and you don't really know the toll it takes. So just doing everything you can to try and help your body is all you can do, really.
Gosh, so coming back to raising my children without a partner, say,
Yeah.
practical sense, like how would you actually advise others to prepare for that? If you can, obviously you've got an amazing career, and you're still going to be juggling like that with childcare, like you are now. You're speaking to us, and he's 2 months old.
Yeah.
I guess you're probably feeling quite a bit of pressure, and
Yeah.
good to hear.
It's hard, isn't it? I think I'm trying to work it out at the minute. I have had a little bit of help with a night nurse overnight as well, which has been amazing. But going forward now, I mean, my parents were here this morning, and then they've left, and as I said, sort of got friends and people around me, and it's a case of really leaning on those close to you, but also trying to work out what I probably need in terms of some childcare, bit of nursery, and that sort of thing moving forward. I mean, I'm not back at work with Sky until September, so I'm taking sort of 9 months maternity, but I've got a lot of different projects on. I've got a podcast, I write a column for a magazine. I've got a couple of properties as well that I sort of let and manage. So I'm my own worst enemy. I'm quite busy, and it's quite hard to sort of shut those down, isn't it? Because that's just me. I just like to have lots of things going on. But I've been really conscious. I think as soon as he was the C-section recovery was amazing. The first week was really difficult, but I've always kept myself fit and healthy, and I think that's really helped me. So, I'm back doing gym sessions, and I try and take him with me. Sometimes doesn't seem to like it when I do, but I'll try and do. I'm going swimming with him every week, and I'm going out in walking groups, meeting other mums, and so I'm trying to do. Obviously, I'm not working. I'm trying to doing all these amazing things with him, and then just finding time, when he's asleep, or getting a little bit of help to friends and family and any childcare, just so I can do the other little bits that I need to do over the next few months. But I don't have that relentless, that push, that really taxing travel or work in London on Sky until later this year, which is great.
So you're managing it that way, like you're
Yeah,
making a decision.
exactly. And they, as I said, they've been amazing. The maternity and the help that Sky have in also being aware of the, as I said, the IVF processes that I was going through, and also now just with the maternity, they're very, very supportive. My boss is, you know, constantly in touch and sending in pictures of little Milo, and so they've been amazing. So to have that nice chunk of time off from, you know, with maternity is really nice.
And it's so nice to hear that, you know, work have been supportive, and it sounds like they have been the whole way through, and you've got this like lovely community support network. But did you actually receive any negative feedback when you maybe shared like your idea of becoming a single parent by choice? And I'm hoping not, but I just wanted to
No,
ask.
not at all. And I think, you know, I look at it and I think I'm all that matters is that for me is that he has all the attention and love in the world, and that's all a parent can do for their child. And I think, you know, some people, the world has just changed massively, even even in the last couple of years, where it's, and especially living in the UK as well, very liberal, very welcoming. I kind of look at what, you know, what's normal anyway in today's world. You know, what's the definition of normal? You know, I'm single parent. He's conceived by donor sperm. So what? I just believe in, if you want something, make it happen, do it, having the right attitude. And as I said, the only thing that matters is that he's loved and happy. And I just think for anyone that's judgment, I mean, I'm just a big believer in just letting people be and just doing what you need to do to be happy. Just do you and I'll do me, sort of thing. And that's what you know, being judgmental or having an opinion, even if somebody has, you know, keep it to yourself if it was, you know, if it was negative or anything like that, because I just, you know, thankfully I haven't received any negativity, and hopefully I won't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And I think leading on from that, you've just given some great advice. Probably just leading on to the next question, which was just about finally anybody who's thinking, you know what, I really want to do this. I really want a baby, and I'm sick of, you know, maybe waiting around for the right person. Like, I just want to do it. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, just have confidence and faith. And I think my mum's been an amazing inspiration to me through my whole life, in terms of, you know, a working mum and a successful marriage and having kids and great career and kind of having it all. And I know people have this cliche comment about, you know, can women really have it all? And I think you can. It's hard. I mean, I already feel a little bit about the guilt, you know, thinking, yeah, but I'm quite career focused, I'm quite ambitious, there's a lot that I want to do, but I still want to be a great mum. But you've just got to kind of balance that, and, you know, just listen to your gut. That's the best advice I've had recently. But I think for, you know, for women in this position who maybe aren't sure or thinking they can't do it, just have strength in yourself, knowing that you can do it. And I looked at it quite sort of in a black and white scenario. I was sort of saying, right, in 10 years time, I don't want to look back and think and regret not doing it, thinking, you know, I'm a bit older, great career and all the rest of it, but there's something kind of missing from my life. And I felt that I wanted to feel that love that a mum has for their baby. And I just didn't want to get to a point where I regretted it. So yeah, it might not be easy, but like I said, a lot of things in life aren't. But just don't have any regrets. Just be confident and know that you can do it. And that's the big thing. It's all about attitude, I think. You've got to believe and you can do it, and you will.
Fab. Yeah. Well, definitely. You are super woman for me, so well done. Proving that you can do it all. And yes, you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you even more about the sperm donor process and, you know, exactly what that entails. But for now, we'll let you get back to baby Milo, who's been a little gem.
I know. I was really worried about that. I thought he was, because he was getting I've just been out for a walk with him, and then I got back and I thought he's just starting to get a bit grizzly. So he's do you want me to, should I show him? Should I put him on?
Yeah, please do.
If he's literally, I've just been rocking him and he's just gone off to sleep. So if I can turn that way.
Oh, Oh,
He's okay.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why it's worth all of what you've been through there.
Yeah. So that's little Milo. So yeah, he's been very well
Oh,
behaved. I might even be able to sneak upstairs, take him up with me, and have half an hour's sleep.
oh, you do that. You do that. Definitely. Well, thank you so, so much for taking time out with us. And for anybody that missed this, we're going to be sharing this video and we're going to be typing our interview so that you can take any of Sarah's tips. And we will speak to you soon. Look after yourself.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Lovely to speak to you. See you
Bye.
later. Bye bye.